Anyway, let's get going. So, right, let's get cracking. It's way too hot, and I'm sweating like mad. So, super fun. Let's get these hotkeys set up. They are set up excellent. Let's go. Right off the bat, we've got this min open from the recreational, and a call, but we're not going to be defending 8 deuce. I think that would be a little banana-ish. Might have considered over-aggressing with the king jack, but not versus the call of 3-bet. What looks like a massive stain to over 1, so going to open essentially any 2 against that range. King 4 suited. I want to play pots against recreationals. This guy looks super tight though. It's just a nit fish. I don't really want to. It's the wrong kind of recreational for me to want to play with. Let's fold this jack deuce. And the queen 6 off. Let's fold as well. Ace 9 is close. We've got a nit, a small blind, recreational small blind as well. Let's go ahead and open. Quite a lot of fish and nits in the pool today. This is a good start. Holy fucking shit, that guy's tight. 19, 13, 2. Do you think he's having a lot of fun? I'm gonna fold. Unironically, this nit is called Guy Fawkes. Guy Fawkes tried to blow up my, tried to blow up the Houses of Parliament. He's not supposed to be playing a fucking 13%, 19% VPIP. That doesn't sound like a Guy Fawkes. That sounds like a fucking stain. Guy Fawkes was not a stain. Mr. Fawkes was trying to blow shit up. Lots of folds, very boring. King 8 here, I potentially would have opened versus a sort of very, very tight conservative regular folding. Versus the open though, of course. Very conservative blinds. Going to open a bit more aggressively with the 5-4. I'm going to cold call the 3s potentially with the fish big blind. Unknown small blind. Yeah, I'm going to call. I don't think we get squeezed enough time. Obviously clear fold here, 5-4, very random 3-bet sizing. And pocket 3s here, so the red goes ahead and checks. King 6-7. I think to be honest, I just start off with a check back in position. Don't really know where we're at. This is why we don't really cold call 3s, but we've done it exploitatively. Large bet from Villain Vin's going to have a lot of hands that we still technically beat, but we don't do very well against. So, for example, like 9, 10, Queen 10, Ace 10. So, I'm going to fold the 3s here. We get here with loads of hands that can continue that are better versus the large sizing, in my opinion. King Jack here, we just range bet in this 3-bet pot, and I will mainly. I mean, you can continue betting here. This guy's extremely conservative, though. Like, really fucking conservative. So I'm a little bit hesitant to go for like. There's argument for just what you're supposed to do here is primarily barrel for a decent size on the turn and check back the river. Gonna just check back. Don't really want to face anything from this guy. I want this guy to dictate his hand strength to me. So facing block, he's not bluffing, but this doesn't look like Ace King. I don't think it looks like King Queen. Question is, do we think we're good here enough of the time to raise? I think I'm just going to play a conservative call versus the stats. So obviously if he had checked, I'd just go for my second barrel on rivers, but I just don't want to sort of build a pot and potentially get sort of raised off my equity. Well, I say equity. I just think it's hard to get called by worse on the turn. Whereas I think I can just get the value in other ways. Facing block concern was probably should have raised, but in practice, I don't know if I actually get called by worse. Very surprising to see him lead with 8s as well. He wasn't bluffing. He's just merging. The King 4 suited, we defend. What happens here? We'd probably be playing mainly large bets and checks. We do have 2 pair. This guy's not protected, so. Go for an overbet here. Going to 3-bet the 9-8 suited. We have got a recreational. Just going to downsize my 3-bet because I don't need to go for the GTO sizes. They just fold a lot. Plus I have a hand that's just going to fold to a 4-bet exploitatively, so I can just downsize. Usually I tell people not to 3-bet aggressively against, well, it's aggressive, it's just a standard 3-bet, but against recreationals you tend to want to be more linear. But it's okay, it's fine. We've got an okay hand. Very, very, very hot and sticky, so I apologize. Maybe I'm blabbing already a bit more than normal, but I'm just very hot and bothered. Mr. Forks is going to min open. We will be folding. Elwin 101, good luck. Thank you, appreciate it. Getting some min open, I'm not going to be folding, unless obviously there's more action from the small blind with this Jack 9. There is more action. Really strange 3-bet sizings. Really strange. I don't know. 9.5, 11.4, there's some weird shit going on. Clear fold with the 7-3, as is this a6. Nothing really super interesting going on as of yet. Just taking a little bit of time to just quickly mark up a few more of these players in between. Holy shit, there's fucking stains everywhere. Giga stains. Hiya. Very, very scary. This guy's playing 11.50 over 495. Are you fucking drunk? What do you mean? 11.50. What? What? So theoretically, this is overbet check on table 2 because his range should be quite condensed, and we have a top end advantage. In practice, no, I'm going to follow theory. I think it's quite nice to go for overbets here. Disincentivize and probably get lots of overfolds with like the ace queen region and shit like this. Table 1's close because this guy's so conservative, but they do sort of oversee bet, and we've got the 3 to a straight, so I guess I kind of reluctantly call. There is potentially some leading. I can deny equity with my hand. I can also just check. I don't think I'm going to get barreled and blasted. Kind of hoping this guy just one and dones, which could well be what he does. He could also just have plenty of 10x and above. The fact that he's tanking means I'm just going to fold, because it's usually just him. They just bet quicker when they're bluffing, and when they're mergy. When he's tanking, he's usually got a good hand. Also large sizing. 3's unblocks all the bluffs, but doesn't block any of the valley, so it's kind of indifferent on turn. But in reality, against that player, I'm just gonna say fold pretty easily. This guy's taking a fucking long time, and then tank. So giga tank check back. Our hand could well be good. It's a little close. I don't think, again, we're ever being trapped. I don't know if he checks back some marginal queen X. I'm going to go ahead and check again and just see what he does. I'm not going to fold, obviously, if he bets 10. But I don't know if I'm good enough of the time to want to start shelling. So he checks back twice, so we have the best hand here. He doesn't check back any queen X twice in this population ever. I think this guy's got a lot of marginal jack X, maybe some 10x. He never has a flush, I don't think. He might have like rivered pocket fours. That's the only way we'd lose. I think I'm just going to be 50 here, try and target like any one pair. I don't really think we get... I don't think we get raised. I don't think we get bluffed. I don't think we have a beat in this spot. I think we just get called a lot. I don't know how much I believe this on table 1, that an ace-x would limp here. But I mean, I have no pair, no equity, multi-way, so folding seems legitimate. If I had a heart in my hand or a heads up, I'd either float or potentially raise the flop. I don't think he's got many strong hands there, but not really much I can do. This fucking guy's playing 4-2-7. This opener, I mean, it's only 22 hands, but also seems quite conservative in a call-in position. I mean, Jack's mixes in the theoretical world, but I think in practice, I just like the flats against the conservative players and just avoid the full bets. Avoid facing full bets and having to essentially fold. Don't know the strategy multi-way here. Heads up, I'd be playing over bet check. Again, as played, Jack's no spade. I'm assuming we're just trying to go to showdown. We like the snap checks from under the gun, but we can still be beat. There's no value to be attained here, so it's just going to be a check. Okay. Just mark that guy that he overcalls 10s on the bottom rather than squeezing them, so it just kind of indicates more sort of passivity from that player, from that reg. Relatively good information to have. Nine it off will be defending against the min open from the cutoff. Another perceived sort of very conservative opponent, but against the min open it's pretty easy to defend. Also, no, I'm going to flop a straight. It's taking a long old time. Usually indicates that they're going to bet. It does check. I don't think they check back again. Usually the check back range is just unprotected. I'm going to go for a check raise here. Hope he's got some 10x in the region. Maybe some 8s and 9s. Maybe just some good hands. When he delayed blocks, he just has probably nothing. But I mean, I still need to try and build a pot in case he's got 8s or 9s, 7x. So I will be raising. I'm just not going to go too psychopathic. But yeah, you can see though, like, I mean, what would happen here, because you bet so small, is he probably just checks back the river. But you can see, like, when they check back on the flop and then bet small, they're usually pretty cat, so. It's good to sort of know and go after. Keep getting 3-bet by this fucking nit reg and I always have nothing. Ace Queen here, primarily calling. I mean, it's just this is obviously a recreational player, and I have no information, so I don't know if they're 3-betting aggressively or not. I'm just going to proceed with a call. Kind of just go from there. They usually don't have that many legitimate, like, polar bluffs or really aggressive combos. So, we don't know, like, I'm assuming them not to have, like, Queen Jack suited and, like, 5-6 suited and, like, King Deuce. And it probably is more linear. So 2 overs to the flop facing half pot. I'm going to float 1 just because we still beat like Ace 10, King Queen, and then continue from there. We flop King's full on the first table, which is good. Facing third pot, this doesn't scream like strength, honestly. I'm debating what I want to do here. Getting check raise is amazing with King's full. We obviously call and hope he just has a queen. I don't know whether I want to call here because just as you recreationals. Having many hands, like, I mean, like, I don't know if he's going to 3-bet like Ace 10 and block. This is kind of a weird one for recreational. Obviously calling pot with King's full on table 1, assuming he just has a queen at this point. I'm not sure about this one. I think I've taken too long to consider bluffing. I don't think I want to float. This feels like Ace King from him. Maybe pocket 10s. This guy blew up with 6s and then turned 6s full. Very, very unlucky for this guy. Yeah, there was argument to float on table 2, like usually against that sizing. Ace Queen's kind of like indifferent floating, but like because we just have top of showdown. But I was really trying to struggle. It felt like he wasn't bluffing because usually in the big blind they don't aggressively 3-bet like really polar combos. They're just linear. So I was trying to debate if he's got hands like just Jack 10 or like Ace 10, or like if he just has like a lot of Ace King, Ace Queen. And I was potentially just going to turn my hand into a bluff against him and just fold out another Ace Queen. But then I think I just took too long and I couldn't make my mind up. So I decided just to give up in the end. But that sizing scheme didn't scream a lot of strength. But I feel like I was beat by a better Ace High or against the same Ace High often. And then sometimes he's got something like a pocket pair below, but I don't know, I couldn't remember mind up. This ace-10 here, I can go both ways. I think against population and recreational, I just want to start betting big for value. Like he can develop a lot of equity on this turn that I can get value from. Obviously, he can turn some better hands. I don't think I'm being bluffed, genuinely, when I go, when he, yeah, like conservative recreational. I'm tempted just to fold directly because I've got the 10. Yeah, I'm going to fold directly. I don't think I get bluffed in this node. He doesn't check back into like delayed raise enough of the time with like king jack of clubs, in my opinion, when I bet big. So I just fold. I'm not supposed to fold, but I don't think I'm beating enough hands that wants to check back and raise turn, in my opinion. Gonna go for a big overbet on table 2. Can go slightly smaller than this. With the clubs in my hand, I go for a 1 done sizing, and then when I've got king 8 without a club, I'll do some double barreling. Yeah, let me know in the comments what you think about the ace queen. There's really debating. Like, I don't think calls are good versus a recreational in a 3-bet big blind pot. I don't think flat is the option on the turn. I think it's either fold out merges that we're losing to or chopping with, or it's a fold, personally. And then I felt like I ended up taking too long and I just didn't want to sort of like, just gave up on it. 8-4 suited, obviously we're just going to fold if Villain bets this. He doesn't. Probably not going to attack the flop with 8-4. There's probably a dramatically large amount of ace-x in the double check range, and we are bottom of range. I suppose we could use this sometimes. This guy kind of looks like an ace, in my opinion. No, I'm going to check down, potentially look to bluff some rivers. Might even just not bluff, to be honest. I block 8s, I block 4s. Villain can still have ace-x that checks turn. This is going to look really bizarre, but I'm actually going to give up because I block the hands I'm trying to make fold, and Villain has a lot of hands similar to this. So like just weak marginal ace-x, like queen jack, like jack king 9, and I block the pocket pairs that I'm trying to make fold. So just don't. You don't have to try and force every single spot. Like obviously we're supposed to get called by like one pair a lot of the time, right? So. Somewhat spewy recreational player, table 2. I think I'm just going to full bet for value. I'm going to go for the bigger sizing rather than sort of like slightly smaller. Okay. Oh, I've got his queens really pissing me off. Like against a reg, ace queen with the queen of spades is not like the best because we block some bluffs, but against block it's kind of hard to fold a nut ace high on the turn versus block, but against a recreational, especially like seemed like a conservative rec. I don't know. I'm going to defend this time as a call with the ace king. Wildly oversee bet. Pretty trivial call. We have no backdoor flush draw, but we have ace king high, so we don't get to just basically fold. It's a much better card for our range than his range, but I'm not going to use ace king with no club as a random bet on the turn. This sizing's not really a thing. This doesn't really scream any strength to me. There's probably a lot of queen 10, jack 10, king queen. I don't see him doing this sizing with an overpair. I'm going to call the turn reluctantly and then check fold river probably. Maybe. I don't know. I was kind of hoping he would just snap check back. He does check back quickly. Yeah, it's just... I mean, just dribble random half pot on a pretty dangerous turn. Just doesn't scream strength at all. I mean, we obviously beat all the sort of draws as well, but we get 3-bet by the pretty conservative opponent. Queen Jack's easy, pretty easy fold versus their range. The majority of combos are pretty easy folds. Just want nut equity combos against players like that. So their 3-bet range is very, very strong. Uh, 5-3 suited will be calling. The gapped connectors are usually flats, and the suited connectors mix as the 3-bets. In theory, in practice, whatever. Usual flavor, people just betting every single board, but there's nothing I can do with 5-3 clubs. I've got two pretty conservative opponents in the blinds, that so I'm going to flat hit with the 7s. It's okay to have flats, like, it's just with the rake, it's not like as attractive to have the flats. This guy is extremely conservative. Holy shit, 10-6-7. I just don't see the point in playing the game at that point. I really don't. Basically, any pair would have to call in theory. In practice, I'm just going to fold. Again, don't think their ranges are aggressive enough with the opens, so not making the sort of like quote-unquote cusp calls. Just going to play a little bit more legitimately fit or fold. God, I'm absolutely melting away. It's fucking so hot. I've been a massive stain this session. Very aggressive opponent. Very aggressive. So this guy's stealing too much, so I'm gonna 3-bet him a bit more aggressively. Assume that his, I mean, he's got 60. I mean, 60% is okay, but it's just across the board that guy looks way too aggressive. So, and there's still a population thing. They're just not 4-betting. They're just not 4-betting a lot, and they're not defending really appropriately at all. So, yeah. I'm going to exploitatively downsize my Queen 5 because I've got a somewhat aggressive small blind. So just but I've got a nit player in the big blind, so kind of exploitatively lose less. I definitely want to isolate this recreational. Oh, there's 2 limps here with the 6-7 suited. I don't really want to overcall and have this sort of reg behind squeeze, so I'm gonna do this. It's just because I know I don't have like a super strong hand, so I'm just exploitatively downsizing the square. I mean, it's 4x is okay, but against limp, really like sort of 5x, 5.5 is a bit better, but it doesn't make any difference. You know, like people are not looking out for it. They're just seeing that you've ISO'd. But I really, really want to be in position in pots against multiple recreationals. So like these are spots that I don't really want to pass up. A bit of an over-aggressive 3, but I don't fold this 7-4. Obviously, you fold now with 7-6. Trying to force yourself into positions, especially when you're in position to the recreationals. That's where the money's coming from. The mainstream of the money, anyway. So easy to defend here with Ace-8. I'm going to find a 3-bet here with the 5-6 suited. Face a small bet from villain, easy continue. Primarily just a call because we have the Ace of Clubs as showdown. but ace high is usually pretty good anyway. This is mainly big bet check on the two-tone king X here. And I will start betting. You can go small, can go polar on table 1. I'll go polar this time. You can go bigger than this as well, but I think in this game, in these games, I'll just do this. And I've got 2 sizings. I can have a B125 and I can have a shove. So when villain population bet call, they don't check enough flushes. So GL me. But he's going to have a lot of hands that are strong bluff catches that are going to not find the bluff catch versus the jam. Versus versus like a 3/4, a pot, and overbet. I think they do potentially have bluff catches, some of the regs. But against jam, I think they're just going to overfold. Unless they trap, and they just don't trap. Like, their traps usually come from the nut flush. So, yeah. Ace queen would be potentially a 4-bet. But I am going to fold in this ball. I'm not going to have sort of too aggressive 4-bets unless I know that the 3-better is extremely aggressive and competent. And I will be 3-betting sometimes with the offsuit Broadway on table 2, and we did find it, and we got the fold, which is good. So we've got 2 Rex and a nit behind with ace queen, and a somewhat conservative opener, so I'm going to flat the ace queen, trying to drag the fish and the nit behind into the pot, which is where the majority of the value comes from. Facing check again, like, I mean, his range is still relatively uncapped, but I don't know if they're checking correctly or incorrectly on this to start with a check. Like, theoretically, I can actually start attacking sometimes here, but I would mainly prefer having a diamond, 2 diamonds or a spade. But when he double checks, I think my hand's almost always good, so I'm just going to start betting polar for value. Don't think I get check raised a lot. I think I get just called, or obviously folds. Range looks, I mean, I don't know. This guy, I'm just going to assume isn't playing theoretically, so he's just playing his hand strengths. Ace king, flush draws, jack X, just going to bet big again. I think he bets a queen, so his range looks a bit like jack 10, king jack. Yeah. I'm not a genius. It's pretty fucking obvious. Like, okay, so he found a theoretical check whether he knew to or not, and then just decided to check the turn because obviously he hasn't got top pair. That's again why he's under the cyan color to code. He's more like a nit recreational. I'm really not doing very well here. I'm trying to table these. There we go. Queen 6 could be a theoretical 3-bet. Also, just 2x is just not strength really ever. So it just amps up the quality of the 3-bet percentage. So when we're bluffing, I want to be 3-bet bluffing that size more against the fish than when they sort of 3x. So even though that combo can theoretically 3-bet, I don't want to sort of have polar bluffs versus fish. But when I know that they're telling me that they're weaker, I definitely want to have more of the bluffs. That's what I'm trying to say. Very badly. There's also some commands. I don't know if they've been added yet. Have they been added? YouTube? No, they haven't been added yet. That's annoying. Pocket Kings here, table 1. Got a very, very aggressive small blind recreational, not full stacked. So we'd think he would be 3-betting queens and jacks and ace queen. So he's got a lot of like low to mid pocket pairs and then some like, you know, gut shots, ace jack, that kind of thing. Betting big on this board. 3-betting ace king. So especially when we have the king of diamonds, this ace is really bad. So because it's a recreation, I'm not going to look to bluff. And also we have good showdown value. Against a reg, I would over bluff this because we block king 10, which is the combo we want to block. Can we get value from worse here? You can technically. There's like queen 10, jack 10, but it's a little thin. So I'm going to just check back. I like the second ace, but he still has ace x of diamonds, and then he still has like, it limits like ace jack, it limits ace queens, but I don't know if a player who's got a 21% 3-bet has those. Half pot I have to call because I beat hands like king queen and then obviously beat bluffs, but I'll lose to hands like ace 10, for example. Yeah, that's fine. I'm glad he didn't 3-bet because we would have 4-bet and we probably wouldn't fold and we probably would have lost more in a vacuum. But yeah, pretty easy call for us. If he goes bigger, it's a little closer really, but against that type of player, it's just way too easy to call. It is way too easy to find it's very profitable call, is what I should say. So it's very profitable. Like, they definitely value bet worse. They definitely have bluffs. And of course, we still lose to like King 10, which we heavily block, which is nice, but is whatever, isn't it? In this limp pot, I'm gonna actually I mean, I can either check raise or I can start with a bet in the limp pot. Yeah, I'll just start with a bet with my overs and my flush draw. So quote unquote pseudo value bet because he can still technically call with worse like sort of draws, and I can double barrel him off hands like some ace high, king high type region. So we block 8-9. I think I definitely want to double barrel this because I want to fold him off like ace high, king high floats, some backdoor clubs. And I block 8-9, as I said, so I like barreling the turn. I don't really like check call, check raise. If I get raised, I get raised. But I don't think it happens often enough. I say that and then he's going into a giga tank, which usually means a raise. So his range is it's kind of uncapped, so it's kind of hard to say what this guy's got in terms of calling or raising. His range can be lots of things. Okay. He's a long old tank. Long old tank. I'm going to 3-bet the jack share against Reg, I guess. 9-8-4. Decent amount of check and some large bet. Jax wants to primarily bet big and some check raise. We'll go for the check raise. Check raise is more just denial, but we still get value from hands. But if he's got 9s or 8s or 4s, then we lose anyway. But we get value from 10s, and our hand is extremely vulnerable. If he shoves, I don't know if I call because I hard block Jack 10. And I don't think he jams 10s or 6-7. So like I'm raising here for value, but I'm trying to get called, if that makes sense, rather than, I mean, fold is also very, very good. I'm not bluffing, yeah, but like, yeah. It's quite funny because it's like, if you verse the computer, it's really easy that you know what you're doing and what you're trying to outcome you're trying to get. But in practice, it's terrifying because people just don't have the ranges correct. And some are extremely unpredictable with how they play their hands as well. Like one guy could snap shove there with an open ender, the other guy would snap fold. Someone else might like jam 10s for value, and another guy may fold to the check raise. You know, you couldn't say. I missed the follow here, Mr. Robot 1. Thanks for the follow, appreciate it, Mr. Robot. We do get 3-bet. These guys. This is a very strange set of stats. It's a little bit of a bigger. It's an upscale 3-bet, which means I feel like it's gonna sound really weird, but I feel like it's more likely to be valued because the usual sizing here is like sort of 7.5, but like an even 8 looks like it's either been typed or it's been scrolled up. And maybe that's me wildly overthinking it, but I don't know. Usually it is pretty fucking strong. I mean, 9-10 suited's indifferent anyway. Can do it whatever it wants. King 10 here is also kind of either way in theory. Checking back and realizing betting with 2 overs, backdoor flush draw is fine. I'm going to check back this time. Probably going to get wildly overstabbed into, yeah, they always stab because they just think you don't have anything when they bet. Obviously, block bluffs and semi bluffs, and I fold my king highs, defend with more likely ace high and pairs and traps and whatnot. But you'll find this at these low mid stakes is like people will wildly over assume that you're capped when you bet, which usually is the fact is true, but it's something that you can preemptively be prepared for. So you do more c betting yourself and then more delayed raise more delayed raise semi-bluffing, and also more checking back with marginals and calling down, which is really good. Easy call. I'm not going to 3-bet because I want to keep this recreational in on table 2 because he's where the majority of the money comes from. And now the drown commences. Really hoping this guy doesn't go like massive. He does go small. Don't know if that's range bet. I don't know if he's just betting because he's weak. This guy is jammed into us. Okay. So not really concerned about. I think if the limper had a queen, I think he probably raises versus that size. So there's a lot of gut shots, a lot of flush draws, weak marginal ace X. It's the cutoff I'd be I'm more concerned about if he decides to continue for a big sizing, because it's very obvious that either of us have an ace and sometimes a queen. So notice the snap check back from the cutoff. So like neither of these guys should have like ace king or ace jack, really, in my opinion. So we probably have the best ace. The question is, can we get called by worse? I'm going to check and try and induce some bluffs from some gut shots or flush draws, or a worse ace from the recreational, which they will likely do. But we do lose some value versus potentially like ace-5, ace-6 versus the reg. Well, very conservative to check back the river with jack-8. A bit surprising. Whatever, we'll take it. But we've would have liked a river bluff from him and we can get some value, but he was not interested. Gonna 3-bet checks. I hate these spots in these stakes because I'm 3-betting for value, but if I get 4-bet, I don't really know what I'm supposed to do against these players. Because I don't know if they're 4-betting, what their 4-bet ranges look like. But I can't flat jacks. I can only flat if someone's like obviously extremely conservative with their opens, but it's kind of ridiculous to flat, especially without the information. This guy's clearly a fish, but I can't call this guy here with the king 8, so obviously that's a fold. That's my target though, that's my man, that's the guy I want to be in pots with, but I'm not going to cold call his 3-bet with king 8 and have the other aggressor behind me. I think that's just silly. Fast Junyoka 1, welcome to the chat. What's your main stake? At the moment, I don't really have a mega stake. I've been playing a lot on live at the moment and trying to build a roll on here so I can play some higher stakes. Sorry, just 1 second. I've got 4x open from this. I don't know what this is. 4x is kind of ridiculous. I don't know if this guy's a misclick or something. I'm just going to fold this 10-8 here. I don't know. 4x is kind of ridiculous. Feels like it's just I have a good hand, I'm betting bigger. I don't know what that means. But yeah, I don't, at the moment, I don't really have a main stake. I have the theoretical knowledge to play far higher than these games, that's for sure. But I have the money, but I don't have the ability to deposit on this site, which is frustrating. So it looks like, again, you notice they bet so much when you check back here. But I mean, I have lots of hands to continue. Facing the 3-bet will be 4-betting the aces, obviously. Pretty obvious stuff. Really like being 3-bet in the big blind in these stakes because no one, for the love of God, has a correct polar 3-bet range with bluffs in it. It's usually just value, so you can sort of lick your chops a bit when you face a big blind 3-bet. That's why I was so concerned with the ace queen against the tighter recreational on the turn, because I feel like even some of his bluffs are technically beating me. Well, not bluffs as such, but like sort of merges. Ace 5 here. I've got this guy tagged as a fish, but they're kind of reggy stats. 2 nits behind. I'm going to go for it with the ace 5 here. It's an okay open anyway. It's not exactly like making lots of money, but When you've got people tagged as like weaker, tighter opponents and a fish behind it, it's a bit like all the marginal opens become fine. I'm going to 3-bet ace king, but I'm going to downsize because this guy's shorter stacked. I'm just going to go with like a sort of little range bet on table 1. King X, dry King X, double Broadway. Against fish, even like super wet textures, I think I like just a small bet and go from there. It's hard to say what their ranges are because they're so sporadic and so random. We have 2 overs, a gut shot, and a backdoor flush draw, so yeah, really, really awkward spot. So these guys don't really tend to raise a lot. So value-wise, he's got 5 tens, jacks, jack 10, and they will definitely raise some jack X against small. He's also got like ace queens. He's also got king queens. He's got queen nines. It is a very large raise. In theory, my hand is never supposed to fold. In practice, I could go either way because obviously I'm folding against hands that I'm beating, but this guy is looking like he's going to want to jam a lot of turns. So really my decision is either to shove here or fold. I'm going to make a conservative fold. Obviously the nut turn comes, but it's irrelevant. I don't like calling, I like shoving to just run my equity. And obviously, like, don't want to be bluffed, but if a reg raised me there, I just run it. A recreational, I don't know, I can go both ways. It sounds entitled, but I know my edge is so much higher in these pools that I don't have to sort of run these really close spots. Like, really what he's saying is he's got... I don't think they're not going to bluff ace queen, is what I'm saying, right? So it's either king queen, or it's like a flush draw, and then there's some sets, some 2 pairs. No, I'm happy to be a stain. Very conservative opener here for 2.5. 13 PFR just scares the fuck out of me. I don't really want a flat king 10. I'd prefer to 3-bet or fold, I think, against a slightly more conservative mid-position open. Just fold out like king queen off, ace jack off. Does defend. He is going to overfold on the flop though, so we'll start with 3rd and just go from there. Blockers wise, not that great to continue turn. So this opponent can still have loads of pocket pairs, and then he can have like ace x time. But I block ace 10 of diamonds. I block it like king jack of spades. I'm going to check against this opponent. In theory, you can do both. I think against him, I think his range is a little stronger. It's a lot more queen x orientated. It's a lot more backdoor flush orientated, and I double block them, and I don't block ace queen. Yeah, I think we just fold here. But I mean, combos wise, it's, you know, we want gut shots to barrel, but we want to use slightly different versions of the gut shot that don't. That I want to interfere with hearts. I want to interfere with ace queen. I don't want to interfere with 1, let alone 2 of the sort of potential hands that fold. I also block pocket 10s, which probably folds the turn. Yeah, I like my give up there. I think it's a pretty clear give up versus him. I've got loads of backdoors, but I've got a player behind, and this guy's tagged as a nit, and he is a nit. He's going to fold. Lots of 10x, lots of equity. Not interested in floating against the medium size of people behind, but it is obviously a hand that you could consider floating. If I was heads up, I probably would float it regardless. But that ace king's really pissed me off because it's like, I know what I'm supposed to do. I know I'm supposed to continue, but against the perceived ranges, just feel like it's such an unnecessary risk. When villains just don't have enough like direct bluffs, if that makes sense. They don't have like polar bluffs. I can go both ways with queen 4 here. 3-betting's fine. Calling's okay. Bottom 2 on such a dynamic texture usually is, I mean, you can still raise, but check. I'm assuming he's just going to bet because they always fucking bet. He should mainly bet big on this board. He does bet big, which is good to see. Yeah, I don't have really like 9-4 suited. So like, but the equivalent here, like bottom two here, like mid two, top and bottom here, queen four, I will primarily check call and strengthen my check calling range. And then have some more like equity combos, some sets, queen nine. I'd actually rather have ace queen than queen four in a way to check raise. We'll continue with a check. Both ranges improve quite well on this turn. There's slightly better board turn for me because my range is more condensed. The villain still has king 10, queen jack, queen 9, you know, over pairs, whatever. It's really hard for me to have a quote-unquote misdraw. There are low, medium flush draws, but like I have a lot of straights here on the turn. I have a lot of two pairs. Just going to go for a large sizing. I don't think check raise makes sense. I don't think overbet makes sense. I think anywhere between sort of like b50 and b70 is good on this one. This is something I do with like 5-3 of diamonds. I'm mainly targeting like aces, ace queen, king queen. Aggressive 3-bet with queen jack gets through. This is good. The tough thing about these stakes with those spots is usually they don't protect the turn check back enough. It's usually just like kind of weakish dribble-ish because they love to merge the turn and check back river. So it is hard to get the value, but I think that turn is legitimate enough. So ace queen 7 primarily over. I mean, you can split, but it's primarily overbet check again. 8s with no heart will primarily just go into a check. Again, you don't need to play theoretical, but like that is the way to approach this board texture, at least from a beginning standpoint. Against recreationals and so on, you can just block in position with a lot of hands, I suppose, and which also makes sense. Facing turn check, I do just have showdown value against the 7s, 6s, 5s, 4s, king 10. Not really any need to want to turn it into a bluff or anything else. If villain did bet, I think, I'll be honest, I don't know if I would call or not. I actually genuinely don't know. It depends on the sizing. This sounds really odd, but I'd rather him bet big than small, because small looks like I have an ace or a queen. And big looks kind of bluffy. We're going to go to showdown, try and beat like a 7, pocket 5s. We'll lose to like some hands. Don't like this guy's decision to check the turn unless he was deciding to check raise and then give up river, which would make sense, but I don't think he was doing that. I think he just wanted to have a hand in order to bet, so fucking hell. I mean, you've got the gut shot with the king of hearts. If you wanted a combo to attack the turn, that would be it. But again, just to sort of remind ourselves how the opponents are thinking. So when they're showing strength, just get the fuck out of the way. It's like my ace king spot again. It's like, you know, I know I'm supposed to call, but there's just not enough of the hands I want him to have, and my range, my equity is probably not as strong as I'd want it to be. But bet folding is such a fucking shit. It's so shit. It's like just bet fold. This guy's aggressive enough. Looks kind of normal. I can have calls. I can have 4 bets. Let's call. Ace 9, I can get behind bet and check. Let's check this time in position. Facing check, range-wise, we can bet this board relatively aggressive. I'm not going to be using Ace King, no club. This is just definitive showdown. I don't want to be check raised. I don't want to build a pot. Just want to try and go to showdown. That's what I want to do. Ace 9 of hearts, again, we could delay barrel the turn. We also do just have some showdown, which I will take because this is a recreational player. He's not folding a pair, so not going to make him try. Ace King, no club, against half pot is actually indifferent because what's supposed to think you're supposed to think he could just have like Queen Jack, King Queen, Ace Queen. But usually they tend to oversee bet those combos, so I'm going to fold it. It is an overfold. You're supposed to float this because you beat bluffs, and then you fold river against like a delayed half pot. It's kind of close, but like, yeah. But again, I'm just saying in practice, I just think he's either got a good hand or it's a hand with equity. So like ace queen off with a club, ace king off with a club, pocket jacks. Like I think they just bet way too often with the flop bets for me to want to consider having like quote unquote correct floats, if that makes sense. I'm gonna fold ace 3 because it's against the 3x from the fish. Ace 3 offsuit, I just not strong enough to call. I'd rather 3-bet. And I don't have polar 3-bets versus the Rex because it's silly and doesn't make any sense. I'm going to wrap this up in 5 minutes for the YouTube VOD. Ace Jack of Hearts, primarily just showdown. Again, primarily showdown orientated in these positions. So real need to bet the turn. It's like deny / merge against like 5s no club and fold out some other ace X, but it's kind of unnecessary. We're so high up in showdown. We just have lots of different hands that could do that instead. I have a straight, so I'm going to bet it. Don't think he's that strong. Table 2, tight recreational, checks quickly on the ace high board. So I'm just going to start betting very aggressively. He calls quickly. Unless he's got like aces full, most of his range is like a low medium club. I don't think he checks here with enough flushes. I think he's just got a lot of hands that are like queens with a club and then like ace jack. Just going to try and like over bluff him. Okay. This is ridiculous, by the way, but it's just his basically dictating his hand strength. These are positions I don't mind avoiding because I don't think the cold 4-bet range is aggressive enough. So like usually here, you're never folding queens, by the way. Like just going to say don't fold absolute range. But I don't think these spots are profitable in these pools because I want to know that the opponents are cold 4-betting aggressively with combos that aren't just queens plus ace king. Because if they aren't, then queens is dead. And always not making much money anyway. Against the population, I can just run them down in all my profitable spots. So for example, I'm never folding against the 3-bet, but it's a cold 4-bet scenario, whereas I'm opening early position. Do I know that guy's got aggressive 4-bets? No, I don't. So I'm just going to run on normal perception of the pool that they're just dirty fucking stains, and I'm just going to avoid all my sort of marginal spots and avoid them. Similar to like that ace king spot, it's just kind of like, it's whatever, isn't it? It's not really, you know. Overfolding in some spots is completely fine if we're not getting run over. Playing a couple of stakes higher, it's really easy to just like say, you could say things, make assumptions, but you are getting run over. In these pools, folding is running them over in some respect. And as you can see, we're running relatively well, but at the same time, we're just avoiding all these really shit spots and just maximizing EV in all ours. Maybe a couple of close-ish spots we've overfolded and not in the best ones, but realistically, we're doing very well and very easily running the stake over. So, okay, our 3-bets up a bit more, which is nice. I think we'll call it on that one for the VOD. So, thank you guys. Please follow if you've enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.